Good morning, everyone. It is indeed wonderful to see you all again. And a warm welcome to our newcomers. And a loving hello to all of those who will be hearing this on a recording. This week, we wish to speak to you of your next process in your ascension. Now, when we speak of your next process, in your ascension process, of course, everyone is at a slightly different place in this process. Many are just beginning to become aware of their function as light workers, just beginning to become aware of the ascension process and engage in it, and others of you have had this awareness and have been practicing, so to speak, this path with very specific focus for quite some time. And whether or not you're beginning or you've been around a while actually may not even have that much to do with where you fall on this line of progression. So please, as usual, we ask you to avoid judging yourself. We ask you to avoid comparing yourself with others. Know that you are just where you are supposed to be and where you intended to be when you took rebirth in this life. All is well. So we will discuss now the next general step for light workers in their ascension process. The next step will entail the recalibration of your chakras so that they may serve to unite your fifth and sixth dimensional energy fields with your third and fourth dimensional frequencies, the frequencies of your physical body and of your third dimensional existence. Now there is one thing, one event which must take place within each of you before this recalibration of your chakras can take place. And that is, you must release all attachment to your third dimensional vessel and to your ego. So we shall discuss briefly just what that is. Many of you already know, some of you have a vague idea. Ego is one of those terms that's thrown about a lot in the New Age community. What we speak of when we speak of your attachment to your third dimensional vessel, your attachment to ego, is that aspect of you which has formed the habit, in some cases over millennia, of identifying yourself as separate from God, as separate from each other. Ego truly began in earnest, in form, when humanity decided to give it a go without God, to give it a go on your own. And as soon as you did that, you dove inexorably into a new way of being for yourselves, into the third dimension. And it is from this original misconception of you being separate from God and you being separate from each other that the creation of the third dimension sprang. All fear, all lower dimensional energies, illness, poverty, every aspect you can think of duality in the third dimension issued from this original misconception that you were separate from God and each other, and truly has issued from the fear that came from that initial misconception of separation. So this attachment, this belief in your third dimensional vessel is deep. It's in your DNA. So when we speak of ego, this is what we mean by ego. Sounds like a pretty big job, eh? Releasing this. And truly, there is only one tool that will succeed, will allow you to succeed in prying your consciousness loose from ego, from your attachment to your belief in your third dimensional vessel and third dimensional reality. And that tool, dear ones, is unconditional love for yourself. Unconditional love for yourself. Jesus taught that the key to the kingdom of heaven was to love God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. The true meaning of this teaching, what Jesus was saying, was love yourself, because you are God. Your essence is divine. Your essence is creator. So your kingdom, your access to your kingdom, to the kingdom of God, is to love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. To love yourself with all your heart, mind, and soul. This releasing of your attachment to ego, or to put it another way, your ability to truly come to love yourselves, will be a major milestone in your ascension process. As we said, the habit of self-judgment, the habits of fear, the habits of relying upon ego, upon self, upon the third dimensional mind as tools for survival in the third dimension are profound and deep. We don't say this to discourage you. We are simply encouraging you to take it seriously. And then after you've taken it seriously, just let go of your ideas about it. It's not to be treated as a thing. It's not to be treated as real. Of course, this is what you've been doing for uncountable lifetimes. As you know, when you define something or treat it as real, you make it real, you recreate it. So now that you have an understanding of what you're letting go of, we ask you now to move to a place of loving yourself unconditionally. Last week we spoke of your higher heart chakra, We spoke of how your higher heart chakra, when it is activated and open and functioning, along with your third eye, will be your pathway to the fifth dimension, to the fifth dimensional consciousness and energies of absolute unconditional love. So we remind you of that and ask you to see how all these come together release of your third dimensional vessel, release of ego, unconditional love for yourself. All of this is best accomplished from your heart. Truly, it is only accomplished from your heart and from your higher heart. So we ask you in your meditation, in your daily lives, to truly make an effort to live and love unconditionally from your heart, to be aware of your higher heart chakra and how in this process it is opening, and ask our help in this process. We ask you in your meditation to go within. We ask you to go within and look. And there within yourselves, behold the face of God. And know that this is you. This is your nature. And in that place, honor and treasure yourself. Honor and treasure yourself as only you could honor and treasure God. For this is you, dear ones. And once you have even an inkling, once you even just begin to see your own divine nature truly and to experience that, your ascension process will break open and expand beyond your wildest imaginings. This, after all, is what ascension is. It is you coming to know and to be your own essential nature. You coming to understand and be Creator. Not just one with Creator, but that very essence. And from that place, you will come to experience only unconditional love. So please do this each day in your daily meditation. Go within and know that you are beholding the face of God, and know that this is you. That is our message for today. We will take questions if anyone has questions.
I have a comment that I'd like for you to comment on.
Okay.
Our belief system creates our reality. If we don't like our reality, we can change our belief system. We know that. We work on that. Do you have any comments on that?
Well, this is something that we've addressed in many past channelings. So the first thing we would suggest is to listen to those. Beyond that, let's see. Well, there's not much we actually have to say on that, beyond what we've said over and over again in past channelings. You're absolutely correct. The energies you create for yourself, including your belief systems, create your reality. So it isn't, of course, just your belief systems. That's just a fraction of the creative energy that goes into creating your lifetimes. Understand that everything about you is energy in production. Every thought, every emotion, every reaction, of course, every belief, all of this is energy, and in the third dimension, it will play out. This is what karma is. All of this energy is imprinted on one's consciousness and is carried forward lifetime to lifetime, and is experienced lifetime to lifetime. So yes, of course, mindfulness, being ever mindful of what you are creating moment by moment, and then working to change that if it seemed to be in need of changing, is a very good thing. It's very beneficial. And of course, this process of being mindful and of consciously moving yourself to a higher vibration is best achieved without judgment. Judgment is yet another lower vibrational creative energy. So we could actually speak for hours on this, and we have. So to all you listeners out there who are hearing recordings, and to you who are present today, this is a very good subject to understand. Thank you for bringing it up. And we strongly suggest that you go back and listen to recordings where this is addressed in detail. Are there any more questions? Very well. We ask you to please love yourselves as we love you.